In a dark cave on the cold ground lay a guy. He was completely exhausted. The entrance to the cave turns out to be blocked. Yun realizes that he will most likely die in the cave. The boy had already prepared himself for the possibility that he might die here. He wished he had done something sooner. Let's go back a few hours to when the day was just beginning. The boys were concentrating on playing basketball with a passing schoolgirl watching their game. Everyone spends their last minutes inside the university walls, whether it's playing or studying. Yi-yun refuses to join the trek when a friend clarifies. He adds that there will be a lot of beautiful girls there. Yi-yun thinks about the girl and continues to lie in bed. The guy adds that it's a girl who will also go camping, and Yi-yun quickly gets out of bed. The girl and her friends meet Yi-yun on the train, surprised that he came after all. Yi-yun stands next to the girl, realizing that this distance between them is quite suitable. And it's enough for Yun to just watch the girl next to him like this. Walking up the mountain, a girl asks for help taking her picture. The girl sits on a rock, asking Yi-yun to take a picture so that her legs appear longer in the photo. Yi-yun lies down frustratedly. Remembering the past, he is definitely sure that he liked this girl. He gets up and sits down, realizing how stupid he is. Yi-yun realizes that he shouldn't have given in to the pressure and gone to the mountain. And he definitely shouldn't have climbed into the cave out of curiosity. Yi-yun complains that the cave has also collapsed. Something starts to glow brightly beside him. Yi-yun notices the glow from behind and reaches for the object. He picks it up. His heart starts pounding, and Yi-yun no longer feels the same pain from before. The crystal begins to glow brighter, and Yi-yun feels his body absorb the item. A girl sits on her knees near a small grave. Tears are streaming down the girl's cheeks. The girl sits in front of Yi-yun's brother's grave, which she erected herself with tears. Yi-yun quickly woke up in his new appearance, realizing that it's hard for him to breathe because the oxygen level is extremely low and he can't stay there for long. He tries to hold his breath for a while. He thought he had survived, but once again he was in a bad situation. Yi-yun hears someone crying and realizes that he still has hope for life. Yi-yun banged on the wooden lid, calling for help. The sister hears her brother's voice and quickly picks herself up, calming down. He tearfully tries to dig up the ground with a small stick. She picks up a larger board, diligently digging out her brother. Tears are streaming down her sister's cheeks. She starts raking the earth with her hands. She pulls her brother out of the coffin. Yi-yun holds onto his chest and breathes in heavily for the air that was sorely lacking underground. The sister looks at her brother stunned and then rushes to him for a hug. Yi-yun doesn't realize at first what kind of girl is hugging him right now. The older sister hugs Yi-yun tightly and says that she thought she would never see her brother Yi-yun again. Yi-yun looks at his sister, turning to her. Suddenly he notices that his voice has changed a lot. Yi-yun shifts his gaze to his hands, completely unrecognizing them. He is thrown into horror when he notices that his hands have gotten smaller than usual. The sister pulls away from her brother and suggests he go home. A noise deep in the forest caused the birds to fly fearfully from the branches. The sister realizes something bad is going to happen, so she grabs her brother's hand. She quickly runs away with Yi-yun into the distance away from danger. A huge monster confidently runs after them, wanting to catch them. He stops and loses sight of them. Yi-yun wants to ask about the monster, but his sister asks him to be quiet. The sister watches the monster's movements carefully, hiding with her brother behind a large tree. The monster approaches their location, and Yi-yun crouches down fearfully. The monster moves away, and a man sits on his head looking around. Yi-yun realizes that he has definitely entered another world. After coming home, his sister tells Yi-yun how he fell off a cliff while he was picking herbs. Everyone thought he was dead. Yi-yun eats at the table, listening to her sister. How sad she was that she completely forgot to call a doctor to check on her brother and just made a grave for him. Yi-yun finishes her portion, and her sister talks about how even thousands of needles won't help her repent for this act. Yi-yun smilingly turns to her sister and says that she should be kinder to herself. After all, it's not all her fault. Yi-yun peeks into her plate, wondering why her sister isn't eating. She says she had already eaten before she came to his grave. The sister looked at Yi-yun, about to find out what happened when brother was distracted. Yi-yun laughs lightly and motions the plate of food to his sister, asking for his sister to finish it for him, since he's full in just 3 bites. The sister smiles and says she really isn't hungry. She adds that there will be food distribution tomorrow and she can get a piece of meat. She says she will cook this meat for her brother, as it is good for the body. Yi-yun looks out the window where it is already night outside. He reflects on this world where they are even in danger of starvation. Yi-yun sighed, saying that if he could become someone strong, then there would be no need to worry that Jiang Xiaoju or he would be hungry. Suddenly, Yi-yun's heart starts pounding again. He notices that the purple crystal has merged with his heart. The crystal begins to absorb starlight to replenish energy. Yi-yun realizes that there is clearly something wrong with this crystal. It has already gotten dark. Jiang Xiaoju is sitting by the fire near the tree. There's a lot of arrows near her. What she's doing? She rubs her eyes tiredly and sighs. Yi Xiao steps on one arrow, breaking it. His sister notices his brother and asks why he came, since he has only recently woken up and needs to rest. Yi-yun notices the arrows and wonders why his sister needs so many arrows. She tells him that this is what she uses to exchange for food, asking if Yi-yun is definitely okay. Yi-yun excitedly says that he has forgotten many different things. The sister looks at her brother worriedly and puts her palm on Yi-yun's forehead. Yi-yun says that everything is fine and tries to reassure his sister. Yi-yun sits down opposite Jiang Xiaoju, dismantling her arrows. He picks up an arrow and says he doesn't remember things about this world. Yi-yun asks her sister to tell her about this world. She raises her gaze and replies that what concerns this world, she will not be able to finish even after a whole night of conversation. She ties the arrows and says she'll start the story with them. She tells me that their world revolves around fighting and martial arts. In this world, people have their own cities and camps. Everywhere there are domains of wild and aggressive monsters. Whatever people do, be it farming or hunting, monsters can attack at any time. Because of these monsters, people have limited freedom, so materials are scarce for the people at the bottom. Without the protection of the high-ranked warriors, the people in the camps and villages would be exterminated by the monsters overnight. Sister says their tribe is small, lacking highly ranked warriors, and could be wiped out at any time. The food that the Liang tribe can produce and gather is very limited. Only by producing weapons for the tribes can people get some food. Sister explains that tomorrow will be the day the Fire Cloud tribe arrives to exchange food. She hopes that this pile of arrows can be exchanged for a large amount of food, or a piece of wild animal meat. Yi-yun looks at her sister with compassion. The Fire Cloud tribe arrives for a food exchange. The people complain that they made so many weapons for the tribe, and they brought very little food this time. They scream that there used to be so much more, and now there is not a single piece of meat. Jiang Xiaoju doesn't understand why there is so little food from the tribe this time. Yi-yun tells her sister to go and rest at home, for she has been making arrows all night. The old man beats his staff, asking all the people to be quiet. He promises that he'll explain everything later, but for now he asks people to get their boards out, because they're starting to hand out food. The man yells that the training camp warriors approach first and take the food. Each warrior of the training camp approaches, picking up their food. Jiang Xiaoju picks up 2 plaques. The man says that each man goes to eat in order, sticking to the ranks. A bag of food is thrown to each man. Jiang Xiaoju worriedly notices that the food is almost over. The last man cleared 5 planks, taking his food. Guy says the third-ranking man will receive 8 planks and 1 sack of food. There are very few bags of food left around his feet. People are concerned about such a small amount of food. Jiang Xiaoju cradles the planks, hoping that she can get some food. The old man asks Wang Lun to go get some spare food from the storage room and asks the others to come up for food. Jian Xiaoju and the rest of the people start running to get food, knocking Yi Yun off his feet. Wang Lun orders people to take their time and get in line to get their food one at a time. He sternly shouts that if people disobey, they will be punished. The line of people is moving little by little. Everyone is getting food. Jian Xiaoju's turn comes up and she hands over 2 plaques. She gets a sack of largesse by looking into it. She grudgingly wonders why she got so little, since it doesn't even equate to 10% of her work. Wang Lun squats down, talking about the rules. He asks Jian Xiaoju why she needs so much food if she doesn't have a man living in her house. She takes Yi Yun's hand and pulls him to her. Jian Xiaoju thunders that there is a man in her house. Yi Yun looks at Wang Lun awkwardly. Wang Lun and the people nearby start laughing with Yi Yun, assuring that he is not a man, and this one is that child who is so weak that he can fall down at the touch of the wind. Jian Xiaoju stands firmly in defense of his younger brother. Wang Lun raises her hand menacingly and asks Jian Xiaoju where her respect for her elders is. Jian Xiaoju warily looks at Wang Lun. She's going to get an arrow out of her back. Yi Yun stops her sister and asks her to calm down. Yi Yun leaves his sister behind and turns to Wang Lun. He claims that Wang Lun is a strong warrior, and there is no reason for him to fight the girl. Angry, Wang Lun says that how dare Yi Yun get in his way. Jian Xiaoju wants to stop her brother, but he tells her not to worry, because he knows what he's doing. He bows down and apologizes for his sister's actions. Wang Lun is slightly relieved that Yi Yun understands everything. Yi Yun awkwardly wants to ask Wang Lun something. He says his sister brought 2 links of arrows, and according to the tribe's rules, the amount of food should be more than they receive. Wang Lun mockingly claims that his fists are the rules. As he says, so be it. People who are unhappy with the situation are watching them. Yi Yun politely says that Wang Lun needs to think about and other people for a while. People support Yi Yun, wanting an explanation as to why there is so little food this time. Wang Lun sternly replies to the peasants to shut up now. People are expressing all their dissatisfaction to Wang Lun. Yi Yun notices how Wang Lun is confused. After all, it is hard to go against the voice of the people. A voice is heard from the crowd that he is ready to give all explanations if people are willing. People immediately look back, noticing the person behind them. Walking behind the crowd is young Master Lian Chengyu. Mr. Lian Chengyu approaches Yi Yun. Lian Chengyu says that Yi Yun is not bad. Yi Yun remarks that he is the only Chelok in the Lian tribe who has the potential to become a high-ranking purple blood warrior. Lian Chengyu passes on. He is confident that Yi Yun will achieve great success in the future. Lian Chengyu walks on, and the people around him question him about why there is so little food to exchange this time. Lian Chengyu approaches his grandfather. The old man leaves this matter to Lian Chengyu since he is here. He walks closer to the people and says that all these years his tribesmen have suffered. He bows down to the people, taking the blame for the people's suffering. People talk amongst themselves and are surprised to see young Master Lian Chengyu bowing in front of them. Yi Yun found this performance of the Lord to be careless. He didn't see that with such a status. Lian Chengyu's words were able to touch the hearts of the tribesmen. Lian Chengyu, since his tribesmen want an explanation, he will not hide anything from them. Young Master Lian Chengyu asks to bring people a large chest. As soon as it was brought in, Lian Chengyu orders the lid of the chest to be opened. The 2 men insert swords under the lid of the chest to open it. People became alert as a bright glow began to emanate from the chest. Lian Chengyu takes out a crystal whose radiance is getting brighter and brighter. There's a big bone inside the box and it's freezing cold. People notice how cold it gets and can't figure out what it is. Lian Chengyu explains that it's a monster bone, and the light that people saw is what they use to seal the coldness of the bone. People wonder if the reason there is so little food is because most of the weapons that humans have created have been used to trade for monster bone. Yi-yun is startled to realize that it is indeed a monster bone. He recalls his sister's words that monsters are full of treasure. Their meat serves as food, and their skin and teeth can be turned into armor and weapons. Jian Xiaozhou said that the most valuable thing about monsters was hidden in their bones. She explains that the bone essence can help warriors break through the realm, open up qi vessels, and improve blood circulation. Yi-yun realizes that monster bones are so valuable even if they are a small part of the monster itself. Lian Chengyu realizes that people are worried about hunger and relief. He notices what they are getting at. He wondered if people had thought about the fact that their Lian tribe could be wiped out at any moment. A large monster face forms from the fire. Lian Chengyu asks if people want to live in perpetual anxiety and worries about monster attacks. He asks the people again if they desire a similar life. The tribesmen shout loudly that they don't want this life, and they've had enough of these days. Lian Chengyu raises his hand, saying that they have a great opportunity. He tells us that in 3 months, the Kingdom of Tai will begin recruiting young warriors, and those who pass the selection process will become Tai warriors. Yi-yun realizes what Lian Chengyu's ambition really was. Mr. Lian Chengyu adds that he is willing to do anything for the Lian tribe, for he was born and raised in these lands. Yi-yun realizes that many lives will be sacrificed for Lian Chengyu's ambitions. The young lord asks people not to be afraid, for with this bone, he can become a purple blood warrior and pass the Taihei debuff to become a Taihei warrior. He adds that he can then protect the Lian tribe and move all the inhabitants to the cities. Lian Chengyu promises that he will repay the tribesmen 10,000 times over for their help for 3 months. Yi-yun remarks that if this guy were Earth, he could become a politician, which first instills fear in people and then invokes a sense of calm. People quite kneel down, praising young Master Lian. Suddenly, Yi-yun notices the light around him. He looks back towards the monster bone, not believing what is happening. The purple crystal inside Yi-yun absorbs the light from the monster bone in the chest. Small purple particles emanate from the chest. Yi-yun is alarmed that strange things are happening right in front of everyone's eyes. Jian Xiaozhou touches Yi-yun's hand, and he fleetingly turns toward her. His sister looks at him worriedly, trying to figure out what's wrong, as his brother's hands are cold and he's covered in sweat. Yi-yun asks her sister if she can see what's going on. Jian Xiaozhou worriedly puts her palm on her brother's forehead. Yi-yun realizes that she doesn't see anything strange. Yi-yun abruptly turns around on Mr. Lian Chengyu, wanting to know if he can see. It didn't look like young Master Lian Chengyu or anyone else had seen the light from the monster bone. Yi-yun realizes that he is saved, and this purple crystal is his true treasure. Yi-yun turns around and notices a young master nearby. He doesn't understand what Lian Chengyu is here for. Mr. Lian Chengyu gives them the meat pouch, telling them to keep it. He tells them to starve themselves. If they don't have enough, they can come to the young master for more. Lian Chengyu puts his hand on Yi-yun's shoulder, noticing how nervous he is. He tells Yi-yun that he should bear some of his sister's burden and not make her overwork herself. Lian Chengyu turns to Jian Xiaozhou, saying that they can contact him at any time if there are any problems. Yi-yun realizes that Lian Chengyu has impure intentions for Jian Xiaozhou's sister. 2 warriors pick up the chest with the monster bone, gathering to carry it away. Yi-yun notices that the connection between the crystal and the monster bone has broken. He realizes he needs to try something else. Jian Xiaozhou walks with his brother towards the house and notices the serious expression on his brother's face, wondering what is plaguing him. Yi-yun wants to talk about Lian Chengyu, but sister quickly puts in her own word, saying that he's not just scary. She tells her brother that people's true sides are often hidden in places they can't see. She asks Yi-yun not to fall for it. Yi-yun was puzzled, for he was about to warn his sister, but she had already noticed it. Jian Xiaoju asks his brother to remember to always keep a safe distance from Lian Chengyu. Yi Yun bows to his sister, saying that her wish is law to him. Sister lightly pats Yi Yun on the head, asking where he learned to talk like that. Suddenly, Yi Yun's condition worsens. He falls to the ground. Jian Xiaoju, concerned about her brother's condition, begins to cry. Yi Yun goes numb. He can't feel his body anymore. He realizes that he was attacked when Lian Chengyu touched him. He realizes that things are bad, and Sister Zhou needs to be warned. Jian Xiaoju cries once again, worried about his brother. Yi Yun has lost his sight and hearing. He thinks he's going to die again. He stretches, assuring himself that he can't die. He grabs for his life, screaming that he doesn't want to die. He is beginning to be absorbed by Qi Lian Chengyu's energies. Suddenly, the streams of Qi energy become less, releasing Yi Yun. The purple crystal absorbs Lian Chengyu's Qi. The crystal transforms Lian Chengyu's Qi into pure energy, and Yi Yun becomes conscious. The pure energy strengthens Yi Yun's body and cleanses the meridians. This is called strengthening the tendons. The purple crystal completely absorbs Lian Chengyu's Qi, strengthening Yi Yun. The girl is whipped on the back with a strong swing of the whip. The girl falls to the ground. Wang Lun yells at the people, telling them not to loiter. He turns around and says that it should be an honor for people to gather medicinal herbs for young Master Lian Chengyu. He orders the men to gather herbs more briskly, saying lazy people like them don't deserve a good life. Wang Lun sternly turns back. He tells Jian Xiaoju and Yi Yun to surrender another 4 liang of herbs. That is a total of 20 liang from them. Jian Xiaozhou indignantly says that it is difficult for an ordinary person to collect even 6 liang, and Wang Lun probably wants to send them to the other world. Wang Lun mockingly replies that this is already their problem. He is only giving instructions. Wang Lun waves the whip and orders the men to work. Yi Yun quickly reached the top of the mountain, jumping through the trees. He stands up on one of the dais, looking around. Jian Xiaoju worriedly asks his brother to come down. After all, he has only just recovered. Yi Yun yells to his sister downstairs that he's doing fine. After cleansing the meridians, Yi Yun's body became light. Climbing the cliff was now a breeze. Yi Yun says that it's all just because of Lian Chengyu. Yi Yun's bones strengthened, and his muscle mass started to become active. Yi Yun's strength had now increased significantly. It doesn't seem to matter how its essence is. The crystal would be able to absorb it and turn it into pure energy. The purple stone was created to absorb other people's qi. Yi Yun realizes that it is worth learning more about the stone, for this stone will be a crucial factor in the success of his plans. Suddenly, Yi Yun notices small particles near him. He turns around, noticing the medicinal herbs. Yi Yun picks one of the berries, realizing that he could absorb the essence of even these medicinal herbs. Yi Yun remarks that the medicinal chai of these herbs is also considered energy, and the warriors will become stronger by eating them. Previously, Yi Yun had tested whether amethyst could absorb electricity, fire, or steam, but nothing happened. If one thought of it that way, all the essence that the amethyst absorbed was related to martial arts in this world. Yi Yun guessed that since the amethyst had absorbed all the essence from the herbs, they had become useless. Yi Yun doesn't pay attention to it, throwing the berry into the basket, because the berries look the same. Suddenly, Yi Yun realizes that it is possible to gather all the herbs on this mountain. Yi Yun mentally asks Lian Chengyu not to blame him. After all, he was the first to start playing outside the rules. Yi Yun, having gathered a full basket of medicinal herbs, absorbs their essence. The purple crystal strengthens Yi Yun's body. He delivers a powerful punch, testing his strength. Suddenly, Yi Yun hears his sister's voice that she is worried about him. He was so focused on absorbing the power of the medicinal herbs that he had completely forgotten about Sister Zhou. Jian Xiaozhou takes a seat next to his brother and wonders how he gathered 20 liang of herbs in just an hour. She swept up the many varieties of medicinal herbs that Yi Yun had collected. Yi Yun awkwardly scratches the back of his head and claims that he was just lucky. Jian Xiaozhou says that it's worth staying on the mountain a little longer, because if they give up the herbs too early, they will attract a lot of attention. Yi Yun asks her sister what she knows about the Taihei Divine Kingdom's warrior competition. Jian Xiaozhou asks his brother why he is suddenly curious about this. She tells us that the Divine Kingdom of Tai is an ancient empire with 108 provinces and 24 desert lands. Taihei warriors are usually elected from the 108 provinces. The competition is of the elimination type. The weak are eliminated, only the best of the best remain. Among them, the strongest warriors are chosen to enter the Tai Palace and given access to the treasures for cultivation and secret techniques of the empire. Jian Xiaozhou says, "This time the divine Taihei kingdom will give the tribes a chance to fight for a place under the sun." Yi Yun keeps hearing about martial arts discussed by people. He asks his sister how many stages there are in martial arts. Sister takes a plaque of water, replying that there is no limit as such. She talks about the lowest rank, the mortal blood tier, which has 5 levels. After the purple blood level, the rest of the levels are formed. And this is not the limit of developmental possibilities, which speaks to the boundless possibilities of martial arts. Yi Yun is surprised and asks how Sister Zhou knows about all this. Jian Xiaozhou says this knowledge was passed down to her by her mother, and she has read books, so she's pretty good at it. Jian Xiaozhou remarks that Yi Yun had really forgotten about many of the things she had told him. Yi Yun wants to know from his sister if it's true that when Lian Chengyu is talented as a Taihei warrior, he will be able to take the tribe to the city. Sister, after drinking some water, says that only the best people are allowed into the city, and it is not a fact that Lian Chengyu will be able to get permission. Jian Xiaozhou wondered why Yi Yun was questioning her about all this. Yi Yun laughs lightly and assures his sister that he just wanted to know more. Yi Yun hopes that his sister will live a happy life and that all adversity will pass her by. He will try his best to do everything he can for her to achieve this goal. Jian Xiaozhou is surprised to see such concern for his brother and his attitude. They sit on the rock together, and the wind picks up little by little. The sister smiles sweetly at her brother and is happy for his goals. She will eagerly give the fulfillment of her brother's dream. A training session at the Lian tribe's training camp is taking place. Instructor Yao keeps an eye on the fighters. The fighters produce the Tiger Dragon Fist movements. Instructor Yao asks the fighters to stop, asking what they are doing. He points at people and says, "Tiger Dragon Fist is a basic martial arts skill, but it can be perfected." The instructor approaches one of the warriors, stating that they are only mimicking the movements without understanding the technique itself. Yi Yun sits in the bushes, realizing that if he wants to get rid of Lian Chengyu's threat, he needs to become stronger. He ponders that cultivation in this world is impossible without secret martial arts techniques. Sadly, due to the lack of resources in the barren lands, Yi Yun is left to study martial arts in secret. And Yunyu realizes that his dignity has been completely stomped into the dirt. Instructor Yao tells the warriors not to underestimate the Tiger Dragon Fist, for all warriors are required to learn this technique. The instructor tells the warriors to rejoice that they are allowed to learn one of the best martial arts in perfecting their bodies. He tells us that martial arts serve as a basis for cultivation. If they are, the instructor adds that if warriors reach proficiency in the Tiger Dragon Fist technique, they will have access to the strongest punch that can pierce through armor. The warriors talk over whether it's even possible to achieve such power. Yi Yun observes the instructor that is about to perform a kick on the dummy. Yi Yun remarks that the Tiger Dragon Fist is a good martial art. He didn't think that the Taihei Kingdom would reveal a basic art. The leader of the empire reminds him of a savior saint or something. Instructor Yao delivers a punch, aiming his fist at the dummy. He broke the thick wooden mannequin with one powerful blow. The warriors clap enthusiastically at Instructor Yao. The instructor explains that this technique is called tiger descending from the mountains, and it uses to develop muscles. He says the dummy was broken by his muscle power, not his fist. A tiger descended from the mountains allows you to constantly train your muscles, strengthening them. He tells us that once warriors master this technique, they will be able to summon thunder, and this sound will make even birds fall stunned to the ground. The warriors look at the instructor with incomprehension. He explains that they can assume they have learned the Tiger Dragon Fist once they reach the other stages. He falls silent when he sees that this is still difficult for the warriors. He sighs, saying that if the warriors could at least make sound with their bones and muscles, that would already make him happy. He asks them to follow him so that he can continue to train. Tiger descended from the mountains. Yi Yun realizes that he has a duty to learn this technique. If he could perfect it, the qualifying competition would not be a problem for him. With the Amethyst and Tiger Dragon Fist, Yi Yun would be able to defend himself for a while. Yi Yun hesitates, remembering the monster bone. He breaks one of the branches of the bushes, making a noise. Instructor Yao quickly turns around to see who is here. Instructor Yao grabs the stone lock, throwing it in the direction where the sound was coming from. Yi Yun is startled to notice a stone object flying at him. The stone leaves a long trail behind it as it lands. Instructor Yao notices that no one was around. The servants heat a large cauldron to a boil, about to add herbs to it. They pour all the medicinal herbs into a boiling cauldron. The boiling mixture of herbs goes into a separate container. Mr. Lian Chengyu praises the people that they did a good job this time and gathered many valuable herbs. Wang Lun thanks the young master for his praise and says that he has done his best to gather as much herbs as possible for Lian Chengyu. Lian Chengyu removes his outerwear and asks Wang Lun to stay in guard. Wang Lun bowed to young master Lian Chengyu, thanking him for everything. Lian Chengyu stepped into the hot herbal mixture and it doused his back. Wang Lun and the servants marvel at the young lord's amazing stamina for enduring the training in the boiling mixture of herbs. Mr. Lian Chengyu tensed up, not understanding why the herbs had no effect. He furiously asks the servants to add fire to the cauldron. The servants hesitantly ask whether to add more fire. Wang Lun scolds at the servant, saying how dare he doubt that young master can't endure such a temperature. They add more wood for a bigger fire under the boiler. Yi Yun roughly forcefully breaks the tree with his fist. A strong flow of Yi Yun's energy emanated from the powerful punch. Yi Yun sighed as he was unable to execute the technique correctly. Instead of using muscle power, he uses brute force. And Yun managed to strengthen his body by absorbing the energy of medicinal herbs with herbs. Yi Yun realizes that if he wants to become stronger than Lian Chengyu, he needs to continue training with the Tiger Dragon Fist technique. He produces the basic technique again, breaking the wood with his fist. Wang Lun chopped more firewood for Mr. Lian Chengyu. He tosses wood into the fire, asking the young lord if that much fire will be enough. Lian Chengyu realizes that something is wrong. Such a large amount of herbs, and he had only absorbed nothing. He thinks he has reached his gear, but he quickly discards that thought, realizing that as he couldn't get stuck at the developmental stage. Lian Chengyu asks to add more fire to the cauldron. The servants fearfully claim that if they continue to raise the temperature, Lian Chengyu will be boiled alive. Lian Chengyu shouts for them to add more fire. Yi Yun breaks apart an entire tree with great force. He leaps upward about to smash the rock. He gathers all the strength in his muscles, smashing the rock with ease. The fire in the cauldron flares up even more, but Lian Chengyu shouts for more fire. Yi Yun, having injured his hand to the point of redness, thinks that he still hasn't practiced enough. The medicinal herb mixture boils even more. Mr. Lian Chengyu demands to increase the temperature. Yi Yun continues practicing, smashing the rocks to smithereens. The cauldron is boiling at full strength, but Lian Chengyu shouts again that more fire is needed. Standing in the boiling mixture, he doesn't understand how it could have happened that he only absorbed so much. Yi Yun beat his hands to the point of bruising and lay on the ground, realizing that he had succeeded in reaching the second stage of the mortal blood level. 5 days later, Mr. Lian Chengyu stands in front of the boxes of herbs that people have collected. He touches the herbs and notices that they are fine, thinking that he has reached the limit of cultivation. He violently clutches the herbs in his fist and afterwards scatters the entire herb box from the table. The herbs scatter to the floor, and Lian Chengyu claims that the herbs the tribe provided him are good for nothing. He thinks about how he can match up with the talented fighters in the big tribes that use herbs to clean their bodies and eat komi monsters for breakfast. He clenched his fists, thinking that if he was born a member of the Taihei royal family, he would have already reached the purple blood level. He pounded his fist on the table with a mighty thump, not understanding why fate had turned its back on him and he wasn't born into royalty. He shatters the wooden table with his blows into splinters. Great-grandfather enters the building, wanting to know what happened at Lian Chengyu's place. Lian Chengyu replies that nothing happened. He just encountered some problems in cultivation. Great-grandfather informs them that there are almost no herbs left on Mount Lian, and if they continue to gather them, they will have to buy more than just monster bones. Lian Chengyu turns to his great-grandfather, asking him to immediately gather the strongest men and prepare a cauldron to start processing the bone. Great-grandfather doesn't understand Lian Chengyu after all. He himself said to wait a couple of days with the bone refining. Lian Chengyu loudly asserted that it was necessary, and if they didn't put their best foot forward, they could forget about the road to a bright future. Lian Chengyu asked him to understand that they have no way back, only need to look forward without turning around. The old man realizes that his time is already passing, and who is he to interfere in Lian Chengyu's affairs? He leaves, hoping that Lian Chengyu will not forget all the kindness of the tribesmen when he reaches the heights. Lian Chengyu asks to listen to his command and gather people to prepare a large cauldron. Having achieved mastery in the Tiger Dragon Fist technique, Yi Yun shatters firewood into pieces in a matter of seconds. He realizes that the herbs on Mount Lian are almost finished, and he needs to find another source of energy to continue cultivating. Lian Chengyu suddenly turns to Yi Yun from behind, scaring him. Lian Chengyu is slightly surprised that Yi Yun, given the introduction of his true qi, Yi Yun is still alive. Mr. Lian Chengyu is wondering in Yi Yun what he's doing here. Yi Yun explains, leaning in, that a rumor had reached him that by taking part in building the cauldron, he would be able to get meat, so Yi Yun joined. Lian Chengyu now understood what Yi Yun was doing here. Lian Chengyu suggests that Yi Yun should sign up right now if he really wants to participate. Yi Yun awkwardly explains that Elder Xiao said that he was forbidden to take part in the construction without reaching the second stage. Lian Chengyu laughs, making an exception for Yi Yun, allowing him to participate in the construction. Yi Yun cheerfully clarifies if he will be allowed to participate in the monster bone cooking. Lian Chengyu walks away and confirms his words. Yi Yun thanks the young master. Yi Yun almost got caught by Lian Chengyu, not understanding what he was doing here. After all, he was supposed to go into seclusion for 3 months to cultivate. Yi Yun wondered why Lian Chengyu allowed him to take part in the bone cooking if Lian Chengyu was going to kill him. Lian Chengyu turns to Yi Yun. Will he continue to stand like this and stand pillar? Yi Yun quickly reacts and is already running after Lian Chengyu. Yi Yun suspects that something is wrong, because in Lian Chengyu's eyes, he should be dead. Yi Yun can't believe that Lian Chengyu didn't suspect anything when he saw him alive. Sister Zhou is calling Yi Yun. Yi Yun tells her that he went out for a while. Jian Xiaozhou asks Yi Yun to extend his hand to her. Yi Yun looks at Sister Zhou in a puzzled manner. Soon she grabs Yi Yun's hand herself, Yi Yun realizes that Jian Xiaozhou has already found out everything. She removes the bandages from Yi Yun's arm, telling him that it's impossible to hide the obvious from her. She asks Yi Yun to take care of himself, for all his attempts at perfection are very dangerous ventures. Yi Yun wants to say something to Jian Xiaozhou, but she quickly stops him. Jian Xiaozhou says that Yi Yun doesn't have to explain himself because he has the right to make his own choices and decide which secrets to keep private. She bandages Yi Yun's arm, noticing the changes in him. But one fact remains unchanged. She is family with him. Jian Xiaozhou escorts Yi Yun to cook the monster bone, telling him to be careful. Yi Yun is surprised at this kind of concern from sister Jian Xiaozhou. The warrior touches Yi Yun's shoulder while addressing him. He tells Yi Yun to take an axe, chop wood, and don't think there will be any indulgences for him. The servants are unhappily surprised that Yi Yun is still so young and is helping to brew the monster bone with them. The warrior remarks that if it wasn't for the young master, there wouldn't even be 10 people like Yi Yun. In the burning cauldron, the monster bone is actively boiling. Yi Yun throws wood into the fire and ponders why Lian Chengyu let him believe the monster bone. Whatever intentions Lian Chengyu had, Yi Yun wouldn't miss the chance to absorb the bone energy. It activates the amethyst gaze to absorb the bone's energy. It absorbs pure energy. Last time, Yi Yun stood too far away from the bone to absorb its energy. He notices the blue grains of sand, thinking they are also raw energy from the monster's bone. The grains of sand dissolved, and Yi Yun thinks that they were absorbed by those people. After overcoming the second stage of the blood death level, Yi Yun had the ability to control the absorption ability of the amethyst. Yi Yun doesn't know what use the blue sand grains have, but the purple amethyst can absorb any type of energy. He will try to absorb these particles as it suddenly becomes cold. Yi Yun realizes that the blue grains of sand are harmful energy, otherwise it wouldn't be so aggressive. The crystal is so powerful that it can absorb even cold, poisonous energy. The crystal transforms energy into pure wholesome qi, nourishing Yi Yun's body. Yi Yun remembers the people while looking at them. Yi Yun wondered why they couldn't feel anything if the blue grains of sand were absorbed into their bodies. Yi Yun suspects that sensitivity is the problem. He fears that the frost poison will begin to fill people's bodies, and when it reaches its limit, it will lead them to imminent death. Yi Yun now understood why Lian Chengyu had allowed him to participate in the refining process without too many questions. He chopped wood, thinking how Lian Chengyu would be stuck in the barren lands all his life. Yi Yun splits the tree and marvels at his own abilities. As expected, the absorbed bone essence allowed Yi Yun to break through to the thunder stage of the mortal blood level in a couple of days. Yi Yun was confident that at this rate he would be able to reach the purple blood level before the competition even began. Yi Yun's shift is about to come to collect medicinal herbs, so he decides to keep practicing. He walks past the crowd. He notices the crowd, wondering what's going on there. Yi Yun walks up to Auntie and asks her what's wrong. She tells him that the elder is handing out healing pills for the sick. Auntie tells him that everyone who took part in the bone boiling has caught the disease. Yi Yun realizes that the symptoms of frost poison have begun to appear. People in the crowd tell me that the sick people who are given the pills become stronger and work even harder than usual. Yi Yun wondered where such expensive things suddenly came from, if the Lianan tribe had always been poor. Yi Yun begins to suspect young master Lian Chengyu of this. Yi Yun realizes that Lian Chengyu was going to get rid of the strongest by poisoning them with poison, so that he could then absorb the bone energy and taunt them. Yi Yun realizes that he will have to prepare. Wang Lun doesn't believe Jian Xiaozhou that her brother has vomiting, diarrhea, and is weak himself. Wang Lun wondered why Yi Yun didn't have the strength to get out of bed since he was so strong. Wang Lun tells Jian Xiaozhou to be glad that young Mr. Liang was Dobor, and said to share the healing pill with her. A crowd of poor people shouting, asking for a healing pill to be shared with them too. Wang Lun asks people to be quiet and not to make it angry, or else they won't get anything. Wang Lun is about to give the pill to Jian Xiaoju, telling them to thank Mr. Lian Chengyu properly. He quickly removes his hand with the pill, saying that he will go and help brother Yi Yun consume the pill himself. Yi Yun barely gets up from the bed, noticing that Jian Xiaoju has come with Wang Lun. Wang Lun instantly covers his nose when he smells an unpleasant odor. The pill falls on the bed. Wang Lun tells Yi Yun to be grateful that the young master cares for him so much, and asks him to swallow the pill faster. Jian Xiaoju serves his brother water to drink the pill. He puts the pill in his mouth, washing it down with water. Yi Yun coughs out, and Jian Xiaoju asks him to drink it slower. Yi Yun states that how can he disrespect the Lord since he gives such gifts. Wang Lun tells him to recover and go back to cooking bone. Wang Lun leaves and thinks that giving a pill to such a lowlife is a waste of resources. Yi Yun thanks Wang Lun. Yi Yun spits out the pill into the handkerchief, realizing that it is definitely not medicine but poison. The pills contain a drug that stimulates the human body to fight the ice cream poison. Yi Yun believes that these pills recover quickly, but people's lifespan is drastically shortened. Jian Xiaoju wondered what was wrong with these pills. Yi Yun says that there is indeed a problem with them, but more importantly, Yi Yun was obliged to make this play to get rid of suspicion. Lian Chengyu smashes the wooden dummy with his fist. Wang Lun admires young master Lian Chengyu's strength and skills. Lian Chengyu asks Wang Lun to cut the nonsense and tell him how he is doing. Moon tells them that everything is fine. People were happy to get the medicine and are now willing to almost cook monster bones all day long. Lian Chengyu asks about Yi Yun, and Wang Lun replies that he took. Wang Lun is sure that if it wasn't for young master's kindness, Yi Yun would have definitely died. He says that he followed Lian Chengyu's instructions and personally saw Yi Yun drink the medicine. Lian Chengyu says to keep an eye on everyone, because the closer they get to the bone-boiling result, the more important it is not to make mistakes. Wang Lun will get a good reward if everything goes well. He breaks the mug and adds that Wang Lun will pay with his own head if he fails. Wang Lun bows to the young master, saying that he will not sleep a wink day or night and will not let Lian Chengyu down. Auntie is happy when a healthy Yi Yun comes to see her. Yi Yun explains to her that thanks to Lian Chengyu's magic medicine, he was able to recover so quickly. Auntie tells me that her family also wanted to take part in recycling the monster bone, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. Yi Yun laughs and wants to share a piece of meat with Auntie Wang on behalf of her family. Auntie can't agree to this and accept such a gift after all. It was already difficult for Yi Yun to receive it. Yi Yun notices how thanks to such kindness, Auntie Wang, there is still hope for a bright future in this tribe. Yi Yun thanks and puts a piece of meat in Auntie's hands, but she says she can't accept this precious meat. Yi Yun quickly runs away, and after handing over the meat, he says that it's already time for him to run to cook the monster bone. She looks puzzled at Yi Yun's footsteps and calls out to him. Auntie smiles, thanking Yi Yun when he had already run away. He walks along, thinking that since Lian Chengyu has run out of ideas, it's his time. 15 days have passed since then. Yi Yun leaps up, climbing towards the cliffs. He produces a tiger descending from the mountains kick, shattering the rock. The birds fly out of the trees and Yi Yun lands softly on his feet. Around him are many feathers from the birds that flew off the branches after Yi Yun's strike. Yi Yun's punch was now like lightning from the heavens, and his fists had reached the next level of technique. Yi Yun was glad that he would finally be able to use what Yao Yuan called tendon strength without any problems. In the past 15 days, Yi Yun had been secretly learning techniques. His strength was growing very fast, and the thunder stage had completely stabilized. He clenches his fist, saying that it's time to try and open up the rest of his chakras and move on to stage 4. Yi Yun thinks about it once more, looking forward uncertainly. He sits on the ground, believing it's all thanks to his amethyst. Yi Yun reflects that everyone has chakras, but they are usually blocked. After martial arts training, warriors are required to clear the meridians for other techniques. The chi channels in a person consist of 12 paired meridians. There are 3 yang meridians and 3 yin meridians running along all fingers and toes. At the same time, 8 special meridians diverge throughout the body, and there is a constant process of qi circulation between the renmai and dumai veins. These 2 key veins are necessary to open all meridians and are vital in determining a warrior's path in the martial arts. Yi Yun is confident that all the meridians in his body should be in order. Fortunately, the Tiger Dragon Fist would help Yi Yun to reveal them. Otherwise, he wouldn't have any progress in absorbing the monster bone. Yi Yun begins to try to move to the 4th stage of the mortal blood level, the meridian stage. He gathers the acceptance of the essences of the sun and moon, breathing in the energies of the earth and the heavens. Yi Yun suddenly realizes that it's not enough. The energy density of earth and heaven is too low and suspends the process. Yi Yun will try again. It produces the gathering of qi, controlling and compacting all the energy into one. A drop of blood lands on Yi Yun's hand. Yi Yun realizes that he is almost at his limit. Suddenly, a huge stream of energy begins to emanate from Yi Yun. A powerful force transformed, strengthening Yi Yun. Yi Yun suddenly coughed up blood, pulling off his outer clothing. He lifts heavily to his feet with his own blood underneath. Yi Yun, taking off his outer clothes, heads towards the river. He jumps into the river, plunging completely into the water. Yi Yun comes out of the water. The whole process has dried him up. Yi Yun decides that he needs to consolidate the result. He listens, sensing the hearing of a 4th level. Looking closely, Yi Yun's vision had become level 4. Yi Yun realizes that the energy has no problem gathering in his body. Yi Yun, solidifying the result, the density was certain that he had advanced to the 4th stage of the mortal blood level, the meridian stage. Lots of people gathered for an important event. Yi Yun notices a giant beast and a man with a big sword. Yi Yun remembers this man when he first entered this world. Yi Yun asks his sister if she knows this man. Jian Xiaozhou tells her that he is a page teacher at the Taihei Divine Kingdom Academy. Yi Yun is surprised that this guy is at least at the peak of the purple blood level and will be a judge in the competition. Yi Yun notices that Jin Lunwei, being an elite golden dragon guard, has been sticking around in the barren barbarian lands for so long. The old man and Jin Lunwei talk about some prophecies and visions. Jin Lunwei tells the old man that he should be more worrying about such things. Jin Lunwei says that important events are about to happen in the wild lands, and besides their tribe, high-ranking people may come and to cross them would be like death. Jin Lunwei explains that his arrival is not just a coincidence. He is going to select 30 young talents to study the royal martial arts. People are surprised that expert Jin Lunwei wants to train them. He will personally select the candidates for training, and those who do not pass the selection may not even try to go to the competition. Jin Lunwei tells people to build that to be his temporary disciples. People ran to line up at Jin Lunwei's order. They stand evenly in front of Jin Lunwei. Lian Chengyu asks Jin Lunwei to take a look at the applicants and adds that he too wants to become one of his disciples. Jin Lunwei asks Lian Chengyu what his cultivation level is. He has reached the limit of the mortal blood level and is one step away from the purple blood stage. Jin Lunwei is surprised that given that Lian Chengyu was born in barren lands, he was able to reach such heights. He accepts Lian Chengyu as a disciple, and Lian Chengyu thanks him. Jin Lunwei examines the crowd not far away from him. He asks if there are any more who wish to compete in the Taihei Divine Realm competition. Tired people in the crowd, silent. Lian Chengyu explains that all the martial arts practitioners of their tribe have already gathered here, and the rest are just commoners. Yi Yun apologizes and walks through the crowd. Jian Xiaozhou looked at her brother in surprise. Yi Yun stepped forward. The greatly surprised Jian Xiaozhou fell silent. Lian Chengyu and Wang Lun are just as unpleasantly surprised. Wang Lun shouted at Yi Yun. What was he forgetting here, and whether he had lost his mind? Yi Yun says he's here to participate. People are watching Yi Yun in surprise. Yi Yun glances towards Lian Chengyu. Lian Chengyu and Yi Yun's gazes crossed unhappily. Lian Chengyu calls Yi Yun an obnoxious servant and sternly tells him to get away. Yi Yun remarks that if he is weak, it would be correct to call him a slave. But then, if Mr. Lian meets a stronger person, he will also become a slave. He asks young master Lian Chengyu if he agrees with him. Lian Chengyu is angry, not understanding how this boy dares to mock him. Jin Lunwei agrees with Yi Yun's words, wondering if anyone in the barbarian tribes would choose to say such a thing. Jin Lunwei tells Yi Yun to come over and he will check to see if Yi Yun is fit to learn. Yi Yun leaves and gets information with the others. Wang Lun scoffs at Yi Yun, claiming that he will only embarrass himself. Jin Lunwei walks towards the formation, stopping beside each one. He places a hand on the warrior's shoulder, testing how much he will absorb of his qi. He realizes that the man only drank 10% of his qi. The people of the wild plains have as little strength as a cat. Jin Lunwei goes further, saying that men do not have the right body structure to learn martial arts. He tests each one, disappointedly turning them down. People are surprised that Mr. Jin is so strict. He has already denied half of them training in less than 4 hours. Jian Xiaozhou is concerned about her brother. Yi Yun turns to his sister, telling her not to worry, for everything will be fine. Wang Lun mocks Yi Yun once again. Yi Yun confidently tells him that he was minding his own business and not bothering him. Wang Lun and the warriors nearby once again sternly address Yi Yun, mocking his abilities. Wang Lun abruptly shut up and straightened up as Mr. Jin Lunwei appeared in front of him. He tells Wang Lun that he barely passed the minimum bar. Wang Lun thanks Jin Lunwei. It's Yi Yun's turn, and Jin Lunwei stands in front of him. Lian Chengyu is already prepared to see Yi Yun's face plunged into the mud. Jin Lunwei can't tell Yi Yun's level with a glance. He asks if Yi Yun has practiced martial arts before, and confirms Yi Yun has. Wang Lun claims that Yi Yun is lying and has never practiced. Yi Yun says that he has passed by the training ground and observed the lessons many times. The warriors laugh at Yi Yun for secretly repeating martial arts techniques after them. Mr. Jin Lunwei touches Yi Yun's shoulder and is surprised by his strength. The purple crystal absorbs Jin Lunwei's qi energy. Jin Lunwei makes sure that Yi Yun has completely absorbed the qi energy. He tells Yi Yun that the latter is extremely good, even peerless. Jin Lunwei didn't think it was pleasing to make a genius with a flawless vessel. Everyone around them is surprised when Jin Lun talks about the flawless vessel and calls Yi Yun a genius. Jin Lunwei says that Yi Yun has a flawless vessel that manifests itself unrivaled. The kits should have been given to the amethyst so as not to arouse suspicion. Everyone takes a couple steps away from Yi Yun in surprise. Yi Yun realizes that he will have to accept the title of genius. People are surprised that Yi Yun is being praised so much, thinking it's impossible. Mr. Lian Chengyu doesn't believe that this lowlife Yi Yun is a flawless vessel and a genius. Wang Lun awkwardly asks Jin Lunwei if he has confused Yi Yun with someone else. Jin Lunwei asks how Wang Lun dares to doubt his words. Jin Lunwei would be reluctant to accept most for training. After all, they were born in a poor and barren land. He's asking those who've qualified to gather here for the day. The training will be tough. The old man suggests that Jin Lunwei stay for dinner, for they have prepared a table for him. Jin Lunwei climbs up on his monster, saying that he doesn't have time for this. He leaves and is sure to be back here the next day. The warriors resent how Yi Yun can be better than them. They think he's just extremely lucky. Wang Lun to tell Yi Yun not to be conceited, or else he will know his anger. Yi Yun asks Wang Lun if he didn't promise to eat the tree if Yi Yun was accepted as a disciple. Wang Lun abruptly stops talking and pulls away from Yi Yun. Yi Yun turns to the other warriors, remembering their words and communication. Yi Yun hangs around in front of young Master Lian, addressing him. Yi Yun asks if he can no longer participate in the monster bone cooking since he needs to improve in martial arts. Lian Chengyu grimly allows him to say that martial arts are very important. Yi Yun holds up the plates and asks Sister Jian Xiaozhou if she knows what a flawless vessel is. She explains that possessing a flawless vessel means that your body absorbs qi energy perfectly. It is easier for people with such a body to reach the level of mortal blood. Yi Yun asks how Sister Xiao knows so much. She was always called a gifted child because of her ability to absorb knowledge instantly. She says that discovering a flawless vessel is extremely difficult, and even Jin Lunwei was unable to fully experience Yi Yun. Jian Xiaozhou remembers when she had a distant relative with a flawless vessel. When the family heard about it, there was no limit to the joy. Yi Yun asks if she remembers her family. Jian Xiaozhou finds it hard to remember, as she was very young then. She asks Yi Yun to be careful, because Lian Chengyu is a trickster, and he can definitely hurt Yi Yun. She asks it to gather from now on and stay alert at all times. Yi Yun recognizes that Sis not only knows a lot, but also has an excellent view of how things are in the world. Jian Xiaozhou pulls out a new garment for Yi Yun that she sewed herself. Yi Yun wondered how much time Jian Xiaozhou had spent on these clothes. She had originally prepared this gift for Yi Yun's birthday, but since he would be learning martial arts, he should wear something more presentable. Yi Yun takes off her clothes, gathering immediately to try on a new garment from her sister. Jian Xiaozhou tells Yi Yun to only wear the uniform during training. Yi Yun can't wait to wear this uniform anymore. Wang Lun and the others notice Yi Yun, asking if he can lift a 4-pound stone castle or if he should be given a smaller weight. Yi Yun points to the side and says that Mr. Jin Lunwei is already here. Jin Lunwei walks along with young Master Lian Chengyu. Everyone immediately began to mimic the training. Wang Lun diligently lifts and waves the stone lock. Jin Lunwei orders everyone to line up. All the disciples stand in an even formation after Jin Lunwei's order. Mr. Jin says he didn't come here to watch the monkey show. He sighs, starting his training. With a powerful and swift swipe of his hand, he chops down a nearby tree. The tree instantly falls to the ground after being struck by Jin Lunwei. Everyone wonders how Mr. Jin chopped the tree into several pieces with one hand, which is several times heavier than him. What Jin Lunwei plans to teach them is not a martial technique, and it is a secret technique that only Jin Lunwei will teach them. The disciples and Yi Yun are even more surprised that this is the art of military suppression. Mr. Jin points to Wang Lun, saying that he will be demonstrating this secret technique. Wang Lun quickly runs up to Jin Lunwei. He stands defiantly, preparing to show off the stealthy technique. Jin Lunwei tells him to start eating tree bark. Wang Lun headed towards the tree without a doubt, intending to eat the tree bark. Suddenly he stops and realizes what needs to be done. Jin Lunwei looks at him sternly, and Wang Lun hesitantly reaches for the tree bark. Lian Chengyu asks Wang Lun why he hatched and say to eat tree bark. After all, that's what Mr. Jin ordered. Wang Lun grabbed at the tree bark, daring to eat it. Lian Chengyu is slightly surprised as Wang Lun starts eating tree bark. Lian Chengyu asks about this technique. Mr. Jin explains, the elephant appetite technique is performed to strengthen the stomach and digestive system. The students are not sure that this technique carries anything useful. Mr. Jin tells us that if they don't train their stomach, their cultivation will be negligible. A good master gets the most out of food. Yi Yun realizes that having a healthy stomach and a good appetite will give one an advantage over others, After all, energy doesn't appear out of thin air. Mr. Jin says that by having a strong stomach, one can absorb more energy. Lian Chengyu remarks that he can take advantage of this to absorb the energy of the monster bone. Jin Lunwei says that when they develop elephant appetite, they will no longer be afraid of hunger. One can stay healthy by devouring even woody grass. He adds that from now on, their food will only be tree roots. The disciples reconsider anxiously. Yi Yun steps forward and approaches the fallen tree. He broke off a small branch, realizing that cultivation wasn't always pleasant. It's all about overcoming the hardships of life. Yi Yun hesitantly bites a branch with leaves on it. Mr. Jin notices Yi Yun's eagerness to eat a branch with leaves. Yi Yun will never go along with the rules of a world where the strongest reigns supreme and death lurks everywhere. The disciples froze in place as they watched Yi Yun. Lian Chengyu yells at them to pull themselves together and obey Mr. Jin's orders. Lian Chengyu examines the tree beside him. The students step uncertainly toward a fallen tree. They carefully move closer to the tree, watching. Wang Long calls Yi Yun a cheeky man. The disciple next to him says not to pay attention to Yi Yun, because if they eat properly, they will show that they are as good as Yi Yun. Jin Lunwei tells us that the elephant appetite technique is not easy. Some people have even died because of eating just one wood. Wang Lun and the disciples are instantly startled after Mr. Jin's words. Jin Lunwei explains that one cannot learn martial arts techniques so easily. As martial arts practitioners, they must always be mindful of the dangers around them. Mr. Jin says that if they don't drive themselves to exhaustion, then how are they going to break through to the next stage? If they don't have the guts to eat ordinary wood, then let them not even think about learning martial arts. Wang Lun is no longer afraid of the stupid trees, preparing to show what he can do.